In case you missed it, I made a video on how to get advanced aim by utilizing manual scope over the ADS to fire button. There are some things I have missed and want to explain more, so here I am today bringing you 5 tips and tricks to get better aim in COD Mobile. With aiming, it is important that you're able to see your targets, being able to control recoil, and knowing the mechanics of the game in order to have the advantage in the gunfight. I will show you some things that you may have known already and some that you may not if you're new to first-person shooters. Before we get into the video, make sure you turn on the notifications if you don't want to miss an upload. Today's like goal is 2,222 likes, and I'll make a warm-up video that you can do before you enter ranked matches or scrims. Without further ado, let's go to our first tip. Like I mentioned in the intro, being able to see your target is important. That way we'll be able to focus on our precision while getting our hand-eye coordination down. Make sure you use a gun with clear iron sights so you save one more extra slot for an attachment, which in turn gives you more options in terms of customization of your gun. Some of the guns with good iron sights currently in the game are the QQ9, AK-117, or you can pay your way into some good iron sights. For other guns with an obstructing view like the default LK24 and the Manowar, or for some people the Fennec, people put on optics of their choice. One of the best choices is the classic red dot sight. However, if you want 10% more zoom, you can go with the holographic sights. I personally use the holographic sight 2 and grind for the blue dot so you can have a clear view of your targets. Here are some of the sights that I have been trying out. You can also play with reticles and see which one works for you. If you want to be precise and you use ARs, definitely go with the dot reticles. But if you want to be accurate, you can try and explore the larger reticles that you can grind for inside the game. While the guns in the meta end up being guns with easy to control recoil, you can still use these techniques I'm about to show you. Unlike the QQ9 and the Manowar, they have pretty straightforward recoil patterns. Just put it down with a slight left or right and you're good to go. Now what about guns like the KN-44 or the Peacekeeper? Today we're gonna be looking at the Peacekeeper. This is one of the viable guns this season, although often put away because of its crazy horizontal recoil. But what if I told you that there's a way to win your medium to long range gunfights without having to memorize the recoil pattern? You can do it with any gun as long as you apply the things we're going to talk about. First technique is the burst fire. We know that guns have predictive recoil pattern, and as long as you stop firing, your aim resets to the center and the recoil pattern resets as well. For medium range gunfights, whenever you know you're approaching the point where the recoil is about to go crazy, stop firing for a bit to reset the pattern and fire at the enemy again. This way you won't have to worry about controlling recoil in medium ranges, especially if the enemy is returning fire. As for longer ranges, applying the same concept we discussed with burst fire and knowing that the bullet spread accuracy is bad in longer ranges, tap firing is the way to go. That way, we aren't affected by recoil and bullet spread accuracy all at the same time. Always master the pattern of the gun you want to use in order to hit your shots better. Although not directly related, the way we peek affects how fast we can see and aim at targets. Knowing that the gun is always placed at the right hand side, in a situation where you can peek either left or right, it's smarter to go right instead because we'll be able to see the enemy quicker. Peeking left will require us to turn before we can aim at the enemy, all due to the fact that our right side is obstructed by our weapon, meaning going right will allow us to react faster. One way to remedy this is when going right is to slide peek because of the quicker reaction time. But when you're going left, try jump peeking then bunny hop. Obviously, you can switch up the ways you peek, but having this in mind is a good thing to gain advantage in your engagements. One of the videos I made in the early days of this channel was on how to center in order to see enemies first. What I mean by that is centering the white dot in the middle of your screen and point it towards the places where you most likely can expect enemies to show up from. Doing this reduces our overall reaction time and saves us from having to flick all the time whenever we see an enemy. All we need to do is scope in and shoot. We're doing this to set ourselves up for winning the gunfight. Another thing that many players do is they keep looking down while walking around. Doing this won't do us too much favors, so help yourself and get into a habit of centering. You can practice this by going on pub matches and walk around the map while actively trying to center your crosshair on doorways, head glitches, and lanes. As for the aim assist, some people like it, some people don't want it, and it's more of a personal preference to be honest. For me personally, along with other pro players, we prefer having it on because we want every advantage in a competitive setting. But did you know that you can only feel the aim assist while you're moving? This isn't a new mechanic by any means, this is a feature that's in the past Call of Duty titles, and I want to share it with you. Basically, you only feel the sticky aim when you and the enemy are moving. This applies both when ADS and on hipfire. For ADS, you basically have to walk or strafe left or right while ADS, and every time your enemy moves, your aim follows the target for just a bit, basically giving you the chance to hit more shots. Take note that this only works if you're moving. This also works for when you're not aimed down sight. Your aim is getting influenced by the aim assist. That's why most players slide away from the enemy in order to get a better shot. The aim assist is great to have on for both beginner and advanced players, and there's not much cons in using it. Of course, we have to practice our aim if we're gonna get better. Things take time, and make sure you'll be patient and be mindful with it. A good thing to have is a warm-up routine that covers in-game situations and warm up your aim and movement before you even enter a pub match or a ranked match. This will help us build good habits in different aspects of our game when it comes to aim. Do you have your own practice routine? If you want me to make one, comment it down below or help reach our goal of 2,222 likes for this video. I'll make sure to put it up as soon as we hit the goal. As we develop our aim, we need to have everything consistent. The more we train, the more we master certain mechanics that we need to improve our aim. Not only do you have to have good conceal, you also have to be mindful of how you hold your phone, how your finger touches the screen, if you have finger sleeves or not. All of these are factors to your aim, and it's good that we take into account of these things. With centering, we also need to reduce our reaction time because we always want to get the first shot possible, but of course, we need to land our shots. Trigger discipline should be practiced as well. If you can, get better gear. If you're trying to go pro, your device can be a limiting factor to your potential. But if you just want to have fun playing the game, work with what you have. Experience can only be a teacher if you're consciously paying attention to your habits. Finding your perfect sensitivity also helps. You want to get into a middle ground where you're accurate, but you can also be reflexive. You can lean to either side, and it's entirely up to you. That's it for today's video. Make sure you share this to your friends, your teammates, or clanmates that has bad aim. Again, if you want a warm-up video, let's hit our goal of exactly 2,222 likes. For the question of the day, do you have aim assist on or off? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.